Greetings, every pony. This is the Nova narrator coming to you with my Hearts and Hooves Day special, Sweetie's Captivating Cult Friend. It's a romance story, so don't think it's full con. Basically, kissing and cuddling has nothing to do with Clop. I don't care what anyone says. Clop only classifies the division of sexual contact. You know, like actually doing it. Now let me just get into this so I can stop my rambling. It was a calm, sunny day in Ponyville when Sweetie Belle was just coming home from school. On a Hearts and Hooves Day morning, not realizing that the whole time she was in school, Button Mash was eyeing her sweet coat and mane. He always had an eye for her. Sweetie even knew that. It's kind of hard not to tell when some pony's eyeing you across the room, staring daggers at you like their eyes can pierce right through your soul. But Sweetie never paid him any mind. Instead, she liked to tease him about it sometimes. But you didn't. Button likes to tease her a lot too, so might as well return the favor, she thought. But when she got to her sister's cottage, or whatever, but actually it's a boutique. Let's just go with that. There was a captivating looking note directly in her face, attached to the doorknob. It said, to Sweetie. So she grabbed it and started heading upstairs to her room. As she sat plopped down on her bed, she opened it and started scanning over the words that was on the note, blushing profusely when she finished, realizing it's a love letter from Button Mash. See, and at the end it says, meet me at, I guess, Sugar Cube Corner for a date. If you don't feel up for it, just don't show up. I'll get the message. It was looking at the time listed on the letter and looking up at the clock, Sweetie realized she had 30 minutes. Button was never good with timing, she said. But she learned to love him anyway, considering he was nice, calm, and collective, and quite an interesting pony. As she goes to her sister's room and decides to steal some of her perfume, and she heads back out the door towards Sugar Cube Corner. She was waiting out there for a good 15 minutes before Button showed up. As she looks at him and says, late as usual, Button. Button just looks back at her and snarks, laughing slightly at his miscalculation of time. And Sweetie just looked back at him and said, it's okay, Button, as they hugged it out. As Button looks up at Sweetie and says, well, ladies first, as he holds the door to Sugar Cube Corner open for her. And Sweetie looks back at him and says, well, thank you, Button. This is getting ridiculous. I'd love to see where this is going. Oh, wait, I'm the writer. I already know where it's going. Walking into Sugar Cube Corner, Button closes the door behind him as he orders 2 milkshakes, knowing good and well what Sweetie's favorite was. As he brings it to her, Sweetie was amazed that he actually remembered. Button wasn't really good at remembering social stuff like this, but she always encouraged him to try harder. which I guess eventually it paid off, as he finally remembered. As Sweetie takes a sip, smiling delighted at the taste of her favorite milkshake, as they started to shoot the shit back in. What? I'm just gonna say that instead of just chat going on and on about their day. Cause around where I come from, if people are having a long-term conversation together, we just say stay there shooting the shit. It's another word for conversating, or two words if you want to get technical. But if you ask me, it's just another old saying. After they were done, Sweetie went to pay for her drink, but Button wasn't having that. He was the one who invited her, so he naturally was going to be the one that paid for it. He already had this planned out, as he paid for both their milkshakes, wrapped a hoof around Sweetie's neck as they trotted out the door. Sweetie smiled at his touch, cooing softly as his soft hoof grazes the back of her head, as they both trotted with their tails intertwined like they're holding hands, only with their tails. Well, ponies don't have fingers, so how the hell else they gonna do it? They went up to what appears to look like a flower garden right near Rainbow Falls. Being that close to the falls, Button was surprised that the flowers weren't rainbow instead of their bright shade of red. As they get in the flower garden, they lay down on their backs, side by side, tails intertwined in a heart-shape pattern that must have looked awful cute, staring at the clouds, as Button points one out that looks like kind of like a bird, and Sweetie points out another one, which this one was Button's favorite because it kind of looked like a game controller, which Sweetie agreed it kind of did. See, as Button's tail kind of brushes up and it hits the side of her flank, I guess. It don't really do anything because Sweetie don't pay any mind to it. But what surprised Sweetie the most is after that Button rolled over on top of her and shared a passionate kiss with her. Afterwards, Sweetie just stared in amazement, shocked at what just happened to her, as Button broke the kiss, looking seductively into her eyes. Sweetie Belle just laying there, shocked out of her mind, not even knowing how to comprehend what just happened. As she tries to speak, the only things that come out is soft mumbles and purrs as she tries to fumble for what to say. Button just looks down at her and says, Sweetie, I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist myself. And then Sweetie snaps out of it, looking back up at him, and says, It's okay, Button. As she pulls him down into another kiss, this one deeper than the first. As both ponies proceed to cuddle each other in the flower garden, tails intertwining with each other like they're holding hands. As Button cuddled Sweetie Belle in his embrace, keeping her warm. Aww. As Sweetie's muzzle rests on Button's shoulders, and Button does the same for her, leaving one of the most cutest displays in the world. I guarantee if you drew that, I guarantee that'd be awkwardly adorable. And that was Sweetie's Captivating Cult Friend by TNN. And if you like it, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the post notifications so you can know when my next video is coming. It actually gives me a reason to move on. LOL. This has been the Nova Narrator, signing out. Peace.